Okay, well, happy Monday morning, Tom Green County 4-H. Glad you could join us. Haley and I decided that we'd be better off making a video here instead of trying to have a Zoom or Teams type meeting. We are recording this right now. We're going to post it, and obviously you're going to be watching it when you get this. I do want to thank Haley and Courtney, my co-workers, for putting this together. Because I really don't know much about technology, and so they're the ones behind the scenes going to edit this video and get it posted for y'all's viewing, and y'all can watch it at any time and replay it if you have any questions. And before I get started, I just want you to know that if you do have questions after this, you are more than welcome to give us a call here at the office. Most of you have my cell phone, and give us a call and we can talk options. The other thing I want you to keep in mind is just everything is changing and fluid. So even though we may say something today, or even though it may be in the Major Show handbook, doesn't always mean that it's current. We've already seen dates change since the handbook has come out. Passes and stuff have changed, and so keep that in mind. And as soon as we get that information, we'll sure get that to you as we get closer to these major shows. So let's go ahead and get started. We got a lot to cover. A lot of it's going to be real redundant today. Because it's a lot of the same from each show. Tom Green County Show, our most important show. It's coming up this weekend. Wanted to go over a few things with you. Got a few changes. First and foremost, I think a lot of this will not be a surprise to you, but face coverings, the board has decided, and we've talked with the San Angelo Stock Show. Of course, they've been in contact with the health department, and I've talked to the county judge numerous times. But face coverings and social distancing will be required at all times during our county show. That means face coverings will be required anytime you're inside the barns. Even though we're spread out, we ask you to wear your face coverings. Kids will be required to wear face coverings in the ring and during the premium sale. With that, premium sale, a lot of y'all are familiar that the sale format has changed. This means a premium sale, the barbecue meal, and the cake auction are all going to be held in the Gandy Inc. Sales Pavilion with our new format. That puts a lot of people in one area, and so we're going to be crowded. And so most definitely we are going to require face coverings and social distancing at that time. We will have eating inside and outside of the sale pavilion. We'll have our normal area for our buyers fenced off up front. And then behind that, we're going to have some round tables set up for eating. And then we'll have some round tables or some tables outside of the sale pavilion for eating and gathering as well, because we can't all fit in there. Just keep in mind, families, we want to reserve those round tables inside the sale pavilion for our grandparents, our older adults, and those that are going to be participating in the cake auction and buying those cakes. That cake auction helps pay the bills for the county show. It's a great fundraiser. It's very historic. It's been around a long time. And so just be respectful of that. The weather looks like it's going to be good. It's not going to be too cold. And so if families, kids, if y'all will eat outside the sale pavilion, leave that inside for our older adults, grandparents, and cake auction sponsors. Most definitely, when your kid goes through the sale, you're more than welcome to go inside, take pictures, get that experience. We want that. But if it's not your turn for your kid to sell, we encourage you to stay outside, keep some space amongst you, and it'll be a good time, and we'll have a lot of fun. Most importantly, and you'll hear this time and time again, if you are sick this weekend, if you have any symptoms, or if you are in quarantine, please do not come to the show. Don't panic. We will find you a substitute exhibitor. We'll find a way to get your animal up there, get it shown, get your kid through the sale. We're fully aware of all the situation. We will work with you to get that done. So please keep that in mind. Just stay in contact with your county agent or your ag teacher on that, and the show superintendents, and we'll get that handled. New this year that we expect all exhibitors to comply with is cleaning your pen. San Angelo Stock Show was great to us. We basically show up, show, and leave. But this year the board has decided that we want the exhibitors to clean their pen once they're done. The San Angelo Stock Show is going to provide tools, brooms, shovels, wheelbarrows, and then we'll have a designated spot where you're going to put those shavings. But as soon as you're done showing your lambs, your goats, or your hogs, we encourage you to clean those pens once you're loading your animals and leaving. put those shavings where we designate, or you're welcome to put those shavings in your trailer and take them home. It's up to you. But we ask you to clean your pen. If you do not clean those pens, the board has decided they're going to take a $50 fee out of your premium sale check to pay for that cleaning in the offset stock show. Again, we're very thankful to San Angelo Stock Show for letting us use those facilities. They don't charge us. They do all the setup and takedown. So this is the least that we can do this year to help them out. The other thing that has just come up just recently is we will not have a 4-H concession stand this year. As you know, I mean, just with COVID and safe handling of food and what forth, it's going to be a challenge. We may have some ideas in place to just provide some stuff, but just keep in mind there will not be opportunity for lunch or anything like that. So you may want to pack your cooler or put a little bit more in there. But hopefully maybe we'll have a coffee pot set up, maybe a few waters or whatnot, maybe some donuts out to help you get through the day. So that's pretty much it for the county show. Just remember, face coverings, keep your space. The sale that evening has changed, and to clean your pens when you're done. Steer exhibitors, with the way the cattle stalls are set up, that's not a big issue. They can go in there with a front end loader and clean those pens very easy. So don't worry about that. But just kind of pick up your trash and stuff around there, leave it as clean as possible. So all they have to do is go in there and scoop those shavings up and get ready for the San Angelo Stock Show here in 3 short weeks. Moving on to the alternative shows, I know we have a steer show in Abilene and a hog show in Fort Worth. I do not have any information on those other than what you've seen on social media, and I'm sure they will be posting those, getting that out as soon as they know more details as we get closer. San Angelo Stock Show, our biggest major show, our most important major show, and we're going to go in order here. Again, face coverings and social distancing will be required at all times in San Angelo Stock Show, in the barn and in the show ring. Check the schedule. If you haven't already, the schedule has changed since I published our major show handbook. So make sure you go online, check your schedule, and make sure your calendar is up to date on that. Pens will be spaced out as much as space allows in the barn. Their entries are up. All shows' entries are up, but their entries are up quite a bit. And they're going to try to space this out, if you're familiar with the State Fair or went to State Fair, much like what State Fair did, to the best of their ability. But they do encourage limit your tack and limit your camping. Just because we're spaced out and you think there's empty pens around you doesn't mean you need to bring all your chairs and coolers and all that and fill that up and get crowded. So keep that to a minimum. That camping area that is next to our pens where we traditionally pen will be filled with pens this year. They had to order more pens because of the entries, so do not plan on that being there either. You've all saw the email we forwarded. You must have passes to get on the grounds. I had questions on that. You got to have those passes. If you have a parking pass, that gets everybody in the vehicle in the grounds, and so don't worry about that. But if you're going to park in the free parking in front of the Coliseum, you will need a gate pass to get into those gates. No general public is allowed because they have moved their rodeo and carnival and all that to late April. So it's just going to be stock show families there. Brittany did say there will be some food trucks on site. Not all of them. You won't have the biggest selection as you had in the past, but there'll be plenty there. So if you need to eat there on the grounds, lunch or supper or snack, they will be there. The sale has been moved to April with the rodeo. I think a lot of y'all are familiar with that. And judging contests, a lot of y'all participate in our San Angelo judging contest, and those will be held with the livestock show. Again, during that time, if you are sick or you are in quarantine, please let me know as soon as you know that. We will work to get your animal shown and a substitute exhibitor through the substitute exhibitor rule and get that taken care of. Okay? That's it for San Angelo.